Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Curious Expedition. So go ahead and roll the d4 here because I'm the kind of person who has a four-sided die in reach of the computer desk at all times. And we've rolled a 3. Alistair Crowley. Okay, so this one's going to be... this one's going to be mostly an issue of finding real crew. He starts with a fine perk. His starting equipment is a little garbage. The coca leaves don't have any effect, as far as I'm aware. Cannot have any negative effect on your actual character. And we don't really care what happens to these cultists that are accompanying us, because we're going to replace all of them right away. Alright, deliver a letter. I can do that. I'm not super happy about it, but we can do it. Alright, so we didn't start with any torches. I see a cave right away. Or at least a point of interest in a mountain. Alright, the man had pinpointed the location of the village on the map. Unfortunately, it's actually kind of unpleasant to get there. We've been having really bad luck, I feel like, with the starting positions and what is visible from them. Okay, that's a little better. So... I guess we'll try to hit this on the way back. We'll go out along the north edge and then come back along the south edge. That can be the plan anyway. Alright, so we have some shovels for trade fodder, as well as some dynamite. And of course, we deliver the letter, get some standing, and immediately hope to recruit a pack animal. Okay, I'll take an animal handler. Although, do we have blue dice? We don't have any blue dice, so we don't have any ability to keep... Well, whatever. It's the best we can do. There is a small chance... I don't know what seems to prompt it. Wow. But there does seem to be a small chance for you to get them to stay with you for free. Like I said, I don't know what prompts it. So, like, we could go like that. Do I want to trade dynamite for berries? I still have 100 sanity worth of coca leaves. Oh, actually, what am I thinking? Obviously, we trade mangoes. In fact, let's keep one more of these. Let's do that. Okay, so now we stay to 38. We eat the mangoes and go to 88. And then, yeah. Fee Blake had a nervous breakdown and started accusing villagers of seeking to betray us. Great. The cultists definitely weren't bad enough on their own. Of course, 2 of them have to be paranoid. Alright, let's just eat all these mangoes and not strain things with the villagers anymore. I didn't look at the previews, the preview hexes for the first expedition, and I definitely should have. But I don't know how many villages we're forecasted to have here. There could be another one, is my point. I don't want to strain my standing too much, if that's the case. So I did forget, sort of, about the fact that, Coca Expert isn't terrible. Maybe we'll try to keep one of the cultists on. The other 2 are definitely getting fired, though. And we know which 2 it is. Alright, we may as well go to this cave now. We actually have torches. So I suppose we could spend level up points on Ebenezer Francis Atke, which is a very unfortunate name. With a name like that, I can see why he joined a cult. Alright, this is not what I was hoping for. I guess we could use a coca leaf. I don't want to rest at 24, but I also don't want to use a 25 sanity. Well, if we use a coca leaf, let's level you up. Use the coca leaf and get 30 sanity out of it. And then just stay once. Do 1 rest. Zachariah Jackson Sanders and Fee Blake. Both on, living on borrowed time as far as this expedition is concerned. Alright, what do we have here? Rushing water. I can deal with rushing water. Okay, not too bad as far as loot goes, but obviously we're operating at a pretty bad deficit to start with on account of the getting the letter delivery quest instead of the wife recovery quest. Okay, so we have to do this in a very specific way so as to leave ourselves a way out of here. Okay, the water is still chasing us. I may have gone too far south. Okay, it looks like it stopped now. Alright, so we can still get back like this, but it's going to be... Oh, there's a nice route, actually. It's going to be a little bit sanity expensive, all this forest we got to travel through. Please be something good. Lots of really good loot. Oh, not a good start. If only I had kept any of my shovels. Well, you know what we can do, though? Is we can go trade for them back. So where is this? It's there? Yeah, okay, I'm not going for this then. The treasure map is worth... What? 20? Really? Huh, maybe we can trade it to the villagers. Alright, we're gonna have to fight this hyena, almost certainly. To be perfectly honest, we should be okay. Like, Shield 4 prevents him from dealing any damage, and then we just slow roll swords at him. Yeah, his most damaging attack does 4. Yeah, and then we have kicks and swords and stuff. So we drop water and meat, neither of which we get to keep anyway. Believe it or not, dropping the Costin flares is not the only option. Okay, so things worked out a little bit differently. Sorry, I'm saying the only way to extract the happiness from oneself is with coca leaves got me a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't leave ourselves much of a way home. We're just barely going to be able to hobble back to the village at neg 5 standing. We're going to have to pay them off to be cool with us, but we can maybe sell them this treasure map. Okay, let's... Yeah, value 4, that's what I thought. So if we do something like this... Yeah, trading the treasure map isn't even helping. Get my coca leaves back, maybe? And give them all the Costin flares, because I don't even want the Costin flares. Okay, so we can do this, gain 1 standing, go to neg 4, try to stay here once. Please don't, damn it. I was gonna say, please don't ask for compensation. It's 15 they want? Yeah, okay, so we'll do this. We have 1 cave that we can see, and obviously we hold dynamite, because dynamite's great, wherever we can. Okay, we gotta go. That cost us 3 standing, due to Fee Blake not being able to control the horrible paranoia. It sucks that this is only accessible from one side. How are we doing on time? 11 days. So a direct trip back to the ship doesn't get us first place. Let's do this. Okay, what do we got? Sure, I'll take all that. I will deny them their tribute. Let's rumble. Okay, it's 3 of them with 8 health each. I maybe shouldn't have done this. This was maybe a bad play. You know what? I know we can't avoid damaging ourselves, but we don't have to. Okay. We're so close to leaving. There we go. And that's right there is why we saved the dynamite. Alright, let's eat all the mangoes. The mangoes will spoil immediately. So this is 10 days travel, which we have time for. So we may as well hit the cave here and see what's what. What did we find? Traded our torch for 5 shovels and 3 bullets. I mean, it's certainly an increase in the total trade value of our pack, at least. Okay, messy. Yeah, definitely. Hey, look at that. Somehow we didn't roll mind. That's a shame. Alright, we're definitely looking for the perk that lets us recruit twice. between expeditions, that would be fine. Standing bonus, increased viewing distance. A free blue die actually is pretty strong in the presence of a lot of red dice. Really, you want like 2 blue dice for every red die, but my point is, blue die, strong in most situations, especially strong if you have red dice that don't currently have stuff to match with. Unfortunately, we're going to be in a little bit of a rough position here, because we have to sell all of the loot that sells, I think? Like sell, gift, sell? Yeah. So we're behind by like 150, and we only have 110 funds to show for it. I feel like, though, I want to make something clear. I feel like we used to get the wife quest a lot and come out, like, pretty okay. Now, it seems like we very rarely get the Retrieve My Wife quest on the first one, but we're winning these games. I think that shows an important, not just an increase in skill, but an increase in consistency. We're making good decisions consistently, recovering from very weak starts into really quite high-scoring victories. Complete my forthcoming expedition within 80 days. Ooh. I think I'm going to refuse. I like this early. Obviously, the expeditions are a lot less taxing early, but I think it's going to be more beneficial to us to try to be thorough. Although I guess maybe we can't afford to be thorough. You know what? I'm going to accept. We're going to try it. We're going to take a... God, they're both kleptos. Damn it. I'm happy to have either of them, but boy oh boy do I not want the kleptomania. Well, we don't need red dice as badly as we need green dice. If we have some green dice, we can pair them with our existing reds for kick and stuff. So this will make us a little better at fighting and much better at benefiting from fighting. Okay, we definitely are taking these. We need trade value. We have a blue die, and it's a good blue die too, right? Yeah, the dice traits give you strong dice. So we could take some dynamite. Try to win some battles that way. A couple of torches. Unfortunately, we don't really... we have to take a lot of food with us. Well, we have 5 cocoa leaves and the ability... Yeah, we still gotta take food, though. I almost talked myself out of bringing enough food. I'll bring 5 machetes, too. Alright, the cans of food... the cans of beans are not ideal. But we're gonna have to make do because we don't have a choice. Oh, how kind of you to start me right next to a whole lot of hills. Alright, well, we're not bringing water, obviously. Is there something that we'd like to leave behind? No, I don't think so. You know what? I would rather have water than bullets. We'll just stash the bullets for now. Because bullets just give you swords, and swords, I think, that's a problem we're not actually going to have. Alright, we gotta deal with the cook's kleptomania as quickly as we possibly can. Well, not much to do except go for the stone circle. Fortunately, stone circles are pretty good for us. Show me where those 2 villages are. Alright. We have low enough sanity that they'll actually eat the beans. You have to be a little bit crazy to want to eat these beans. Let's do cocaine one time. Just a little bit of cocaine, coca leaf in the tea. It's not actually technically cocaine. It's not quite the same. I don't want to go to one of these hills because the area over here that we would reveal is a lot less valuable than the area over here that we would reveal by going to this hill. Also, I totally did forget to level him up right before taking the tea. That was a mistake that cost us 5 sanity. Hopefully it won't doom us in any way. Okay. So a Beastmaster, what are we at? We're at 0 natural standing. So I'd love to get this and these mangoes away from them. That would be cool. We actually have quite a lot of trade value to work with. So they don't overvalue any of the things in our inventory. Sorry, the machetes. But it is worth noting that this is worth a lot less than 20 trade value, in my opinion. I don't think the native trinket's terribly important, so I'm happy to trade it off. Actually, these are 5 each. Does it make more sense for me to take... Like, I know that the chance of gaining negative traits is a big deal because some of the negative traits are really bad, but we do get a lot of sanity from them. So this gives us no standing. I really want to get to 2 standing, though. So I don't need 5 shovels. Or any shovels? Probably. Actually, let's do that. It's too expensive. My thinking is that we want to go to 2 standing so we can recruit. Kick one of these cultists out for a pack animal, hopefully, although I don't see any animals in the village. Okay, we gained a bunch of sanity restoring items. Scouts and animal handlers, shoot. We do have a blue die, though. So we could recruit somebody and potentially keep them. We'll have at least a 50% chance of keeping them. So what do I want more? I like Scout and Animal Handler quite a lot. We don't have any animals now, but we're likely to end up with 1, probably. I mean, maybe we can't count on that. If we want to keep Scout or if we want to keep Cook and Animal Handler and the 1 cultist, that does only leave us 1 slot. You know what? Let's hire Dakote, the native scout. Okay, now we're going to leave the village without resting, use food cans up until we can't use food cans anymore, and then rest. Okay, Phoebe Lake is extremely fired. There's 1 more village. Okay, so theoretically these 2 are identical. But I do know that Phoebe Lake seems to cause an awful lot more problems. Oof, I'm being opposed furiously. I do think we're better off without her, though. So there was... I shouldn't have eaten quite so much food. I should have thought about the fact that we were going to use mangoes after the fact. That's definitely a misplay on my part, potentially quite a large one. Well, they're going to go bad before we get to the other village. Yeah, it's a shame. I kind of screwed myself out of 5 trade value there. Alright, well, let's get to the other village and do so before we run all of our standing out. And then from there, we can try to sustain ourselves on cooking and fighting animals and stuff. Okay, that could be the pyramid right there. Totally possible. Ooh, they have a stone idol. We're definitely stealing that. So let's trade with them. Obviously, they're going to have some stuff that we want. I know we're about to go through a lot of trees and stuff, but I do really, really want to get another recruit off. We trade a dynamite? Okay. Ooh, a raw meat is going to be worth... Oh no, we don't have enough. We don't have enough saved exploration points to level our cook up very much, though. So obviously, it would be cool to get the mangoes. Like, we can definitely trade red berries for mangoes straight up, because we're not going to be able to afford to stay here long. Maybe I do like this. That'll get me to 2 standing. Rest gets me to 67. Mangoes get me to 87. Like, eat 1 more can of beans. Oh, we have to get 3 points of standing out of this deal. Shoot. Yeah, that complicates things. Alright, well, this is what we're doing. Okay, so let's recruit Animal Handler or Shaman. So we have to remember that there's a pretty good chance that we're not taking home one of the people we recruit. There's a further chance that we're not taking home either. There's no difference between these 2 except that I find Pusaxi easier to say. I don't think we want... Well... Do I want a shaman? We so rarely get a good chance to run around with a shaman. And it seems to me like Crowley would have been interested at least in the ideas that the shaman had, although I think I remember reading that he was a horribly virulent racist who believed that the ideas of a culture should not permeate into other cultures. So actually, maybe he'd be directly opposed to learning from this shaman. We're going to take the animal handler. I think the green dye is more useful. Alright, just like last time, we're going to food can. This time, it's actually definitely correct. And then we kick out the other paranoid. Okay, I know people are getting upset. Okay, rest in the village. Rougeau is stealing from people with his kleptomania. That's unfortunate. Alright, rest in the village. Steal the idol. Oh, we did not get away with it. They know. They caught us. And we're taking it. But we definitely we got caught there. Okay, so shall we make a run for it? Yeah, that's awkward. This is not, in fact, the pyramid. Ooh, okay, this one's gonna leave a chasm behind us. I think I'm still gonna go for it, but we're gonna move to this side first, and then use the chasm to cut off our pursuers, I think. So let's eat beans. Level you up. Alright, they do get a second red die. That's good. Ah, superstition. Immediately we're getting negatives. That's rough. This is almost certainly the pyramid. Yep, it is. Okay. Come on, don't make me stop early. Ah, damn it. Alright, it is just the one panther. Ouch. It hurts. So we have a kick. And a flank. And then we can try to roll kick again. Okay, so is it better to dynamite you than to wait? Man, we're in we're in some dire straits here. Yeah, I think it is. That's definitely rough. So who has priority on the mushroom? Probably the cook? I guess we don't have to decide right now. We can wait until we see who gets an infection. Yeah, sadly I think that is probably the right play. Alright, we have one torch left. Oh, I didn't even... Damn it. Whatever, it's probably fine. Honestly... Francis Rougeau was particularly upset with our decision to explore this place and complain of our sacrilegious behavior. Alright, yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. So he's angry, as well as a klepto. And we... No, I definitely should have explored this. I was thinking ahead and not thinking, oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. This is going poorly. Okay, so I don't want to go, out and around. Let's not go in the direction, via a path that is guaranteed to get us caught, huh? Let's maybe go around. Alright, so we'll go to here. And then we're going to have to refuel for crossing the hills. Although, hey, look at that. Ooh. Okay. Well, we need some cleansing. Oh boy. Alright. Everything that we have is for this moment. We have no loot, by the way. We're coming out of this with, like, no score. Targeted teleportation and drums. And he's got green mushrooms. These are incredibly valuable things. So let's see if we can get anywhere near this much trade value. These are... I need the funds back at home. I need to I need to be able to go on the next expedition. At our cook's current cooking level, this meat is worth more raw than it is cooked. We're so close to getting out of here. Alright. I know I'm cutting it pretty close here. Alright. Cleanse Francis Rougeau. That's a lot of traits that he just lost. Now we leave. We do this. It's going to take us... If we want to go back over the hills, the most direct route, it takes 77 sanity to get back. We don't have 77 sanity to play with. Alright, kleptomania. Having some pretty bad luck here. This is 14 days. It does get us back in plenty of time. Should I green mushroom the kleptomania right away? We're cutting it pretty close on survival here. We really did not end up with a lot of loot. Because I forgot to search a shrine because I'm a huge idiot. That's, you know what, you don't have to be good at video games in life. This is not a real life skill. Okay, yeah, it definitely makes more sense to do this. I'm gonna do it. Alright, let's clear your kleptomania and your lepidopterophobia at the same time. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not the most encouraging start ever. Please, please don't run off. Oh no! The wound festered quite horrifically. Ah, we used a green mushroom on you, you horrifying monster. This is rough. Alright, let's try to convince our people to stay with us. Nope. Whiffed on the animal handler. And the... Okay. Oh, and the scout too! Oh. This is not going well. Alright, we have 590 fame. Black market access I don't think is going to be that helpful because we don't have any money ever. Although, black market access does virtually guarantee us access to a campsite. Which is a good way of recovering when you are out of ways of regaining sanity. Although, I guess it is fair to point out that we do have a cook. You know, we need to be able to take loot home. We're going to be very reliant on this cook for having any chance of making it out of here. Oof. So, sell, and sell. We have to. We can't go into the next expedition with 60 funds. Oh, you guys, this is a nightmare. Alright, I think we're going to have to go to the Dark Desert. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's not wait. I got back pretty quickly, too. There's no way I can make it. Oh, no. Bring this guy home. He's a cannibal. He's gonna eat my cook. I need the reward. But it sucks. Yeah, Jim Sterling. Actually, red dye is kind of like the worst dye. Oh, no, we're not as imbalanced as we once were. But a blue dye is really good for us. Sterling can help us get trade value and has more carrying capacity. But with another blue dye, it would be easier for us to recruit. I think we're gonna go for this. And dude has claustrophobia, which shouldn't be an issue. Okay, whiskey. Of course it's whiskey time. Well, at least we have a green mushroom to clear one instance of alcoholism. So I would like to bring torches. And we're going to a desert, so the machetes are not super relevant. Let's do this. This feels pretty bad. We do have a tome page of targeted teleportation, which is a very powerful tool. And we have a chef who has no negative traits at all. You know, that's something. This is going to have to get dealt with. But one problem at a time, I guess. Yeah, we're taking the bullets with us this time. Okay, and we can't see anything from here for some reason. Alright, let's go toward the stone circle. Let's take advantage of our trait first. Dude, I love the drums. I can't believe I went for such a long time without ever using the drums. Alright, let's enter the stone circle and reveal the settlements. So there's a mission in 2 villages. The mission is, of course, completely out of the way. Let's see if there's any loot on the way to it that we could drop off. Well, potentially. Alright, so here's where we start getting real drunk all the time. Let's go to here first. Very unlikely to be loot. Alright. Let's escort this idiot home. This is so bad, you guys. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this run. I said all those things about consistency. Oh, hold on. That was weird. It loaded us into a different scene first. So we, right at this moment, we actually desperately need the Abomination for his combat capabilities. Yeah, we need, like, Tentacle Whip is a pretty good skill. Interesting. Does this combine with anything else? I'm gonna hold it. What else do we want to keep? We probably do want to keep Sword, actually. I'd rather have one of the other positive faces on this die. We're looking for Eye here, probably. Let's keep a man in case we can roll kick. Alright, feel pretty good about that. Damn it. We rolled that an awful lot of times there. Okay, so. Can you combine 2? No, okay. I think Tentacle Whip is better, right? So we're going to do 3 damage with our kick. This is the 4 damage claw, right? Yeah, so 3 damage plus 4 damage plus 2 plus 1 of the swords kills 1 panther. Yeah, we do this and get 1 kill. And then this other guy, we just hit him once. Spending bullets doesn't let us prevent this attack from happening, so... Okay, got a kick to start off. Let's use the weak die. And a flank. Okay. Red and blue is a good combination. So let's enter the mission. We can throw this stuff in there. Honestly, I don't think we throw anything else out. Yeah. Stay overnight. Oh, he has medical supplies. We should take these. Dude loves whiskey. And that's the only thing of value that we really have. Keep some of my whiskey. That's not a terrible trade. Dude really loves whiskey. Can I maybe actually... Yeah, we can keep all of our whiskey and do this. That's better. Deal. Alright, we need the sanity. Okay, it's always risky. You have a chance of getting alcoholism from that event. And give me back some of my ropes. Deal. Okay, more whiskey, sure. That actually went really well. Alright, it's going to be 62 to walk to there. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. Alright, so we have 4 meat in our inventory. We have enough. We're very close to... after revealing this, we'll have enough exploration points to level our cook twice. Which will get our meats to being worth 10 sanity each. Ooh, okay, more whiskey. And... oh boy. Alexander Whittington Warnes returned alone and was unable to clear up the mystery of Francis Rougeau's disappearance. He explained they were unintentionally split up and he thought they would rendezvous back here. We spent a while scouring the vicinity for the missing Trek member, but there was naught I could do. The Abomination, who had been part of the same group, returned alone. It just stared at me in silence and did not react in any way to my questions about the missing Trek member. Okay, so we needed that cook really badly. And yeah, that's real bad. Jeez. I guess we can continue searching around. We're going to sustain ourselves on whiskey for a while, but with no cook, we're very limited in our ability to recharge ourselves, basically. Alright, we can't turn away any source of sanity at this moment. What do we drop? It's interesting that cannibal doesn't show up over here for him. I guess because it's an innate part of his class, then he can't not have it. But we could maybe green mushroom off his cannibalness? Is that right? Oh. I wonder if this will change the text when he gets back to his wife. Interesting. Alright, what manner of shrine is this? A thick layer of sand? Yeah, okay. It's going to turn the desert into desert. I suspect we'll be alright. Oh no! The region is being ravaged by a climate shift. Well, it's hard to justify throwing away the water. Is it the ropes? I think it's the ropes. So we got a tome of fertile lands, a tome page of fertile lands. It's not a terrible one. It's not awesome either, but... So do we want to go for this mysterious thing, or this thing that's almost certainly a cave? Let's go mystery. Yep, and you can see the terrain around the temple is becoming more of a desert. Oh, are you kidding me? This fucking raptor. Okay, it's an overhang. That's not bad. Well, we have to fight the raptor. I don't think we have... Oh, we could horn flute. No, let's fight. We need the loot. Too badly. So he has 3 dice. Headbutting him is not a real solution. We need punctuation off of these blue dice, basically. This, I'd much rather see the fierce claws than the tentacle whip. Basically, without a green die, I don't really want to keep... I guess let's keep one man... It's man-eye as flank, right? Actually, maybe this is the right thing to do. Yeah, and then... Precise... Claws. And now we can kill him with 2 bullets. Okay, and we will need 2. We're certainly not letting him have an attack. Alright, we are 2 items overburdened. Well, before we decide anything, let's rest overnight. I will accept the quest of the dead natives to slay the monster that slew them, because a pumpkin lantern sounds like a great thing. Alright, do I rest again? Yeah, may as well go back to full, right? So... This has been a pretty strange one so far. Alright, I think we can throw away the remaining bullet. It hurts to throw away pretty much anything else. I guess we could toss the water. We're not going to get that much more use out of it, being that there's only 4 of it. Everything else here has significant value, including the torches, because we'll need them to explore here and here. Yeah, I'm just going to toss the 4 water. Alright, hopefully this will be something really great. Okay. A route to an isolated region many miles away. I like that. Are you kidding me? We can't see the path. Oh my god. That is the worst. We're 1 space short of being able to see a route. Alright, well this is nice. What are we at? We're -6 standing. So we can't go to the villages anyway, probably. May as well just... whatever. This is 20 trade value. I definitely don't want to toss the medical supplies. We can just drink the remaining whiskey. Okay, the guy who's not actually part of the party became an alcoholic. I have no particular problem with that. Alright, we use our last torch to discover and fight some spiders, which we probably... Oh, there's 3 of them. I didn't remember it being 3. Okay, well, we can remove one of them from the fight with a headbutt, right? They only have 1 die each? Okay. So we have to come out pretty far ahead here, or else we are in a lot of trouble. We could try to roll flank. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage represented right now, which is not enough to bring one down. We need something to turn around. Well, actually, we could do this, right? Piercing Tentacle is 4, plus 3, plus 2 is 9. We need this to come up something else. We could go for the reroll. You know what? I'm going to reroll this die and pray for that big claw. And if we're using this as a sword, we can't get flank anyway, so we keep these. Alright, I'm not going to risk rolling this again. Okay, we came up alright on that. So what's the most efficient plan? We have 4 damage right here. Plus... is it 6? So actually, if we do Tentacle Whip instead of Piercing Tentacle, and then use these 4 dice, this is 1 and this is 3, it'll kill him exactly while putting 2 damage on each of these guys. Whereas if we go Piercing Tentacle on this guy to bring him to 2, then all we can do is finish him off with a precise attack. So this way yields the largest total damage and still kills one of them. Alright, so they only get 1 die actually this round. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, but we actually can just headbutt both of them this time. And then take our sweet time deciding how we're going to finish things out. Alright, we rolled Strong Claws. I'm going to keep this. Okay. I wanted to know whether we were going to get Tentacle Whip or not, because obviously if we got Tentacle Whip, it doesn't make sense to use 1 damage here. Okay, the spiders are not that bad. They look scary, but the fact that they only have 1 die each really brings down the fear factor. Alright, Pumpkin Lantern, go. Also, 8 spider legs is 160 funds. So let's throw out some of the meat. I was saving the meat so that we could trade it, but we are now at -9 standing. I don't think it's safe to go back to the villages. This is worth 20 fame. I'm trying to figure out how we make any value here. Like, how we make any points. We have enough funds, for sure. Maybe we just accept that we have a very low score going into Expedition 4. Maybe that's the world we have to be ready to live in. Because I think this is the pyramid. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. It could be. It's still within the compass range. I mean, based on what we can see, either this is the pyramid or the pyramid is in here. Like, right here. I think it's this. It's not usually right next to a village. I don't think I've ever seen that. So I think we have a path that's not going to require us to go to these villages. Although I guess we could hit this one on the way back through. We could get fame just by hitting this and targeted teleporting back, though. That might be the play. In which case the meat is useless. I think this makes sense. If this is not the pyramid, we're in a lot of trouble, though. Okay. The abomination has an infected wound. We have 30 days to beat... Every moment we spend out here, every time we visit something, there's a chance that the abomination is going to eat our payday. So it's 127... 145. So it's about 20 sanity from here to the boat. And 44 days, 31 days, and 13 days travel. I'm trying to figure out what the best teleport target is. I think what we actually want to do maybe is target teleport to here, search whatever this is, play the drums, and then just run. This gets us home safe, but also gives us an additional little bit of searching. Okay, well, alright, that's fine. We're just going to run from the tiger. I'm not worried about that. Because, right, we have the sanity to make this if we drop some stuff. If the abomination dies from his wounds, I don't actually care. So, like, drop the ropes and... what else would we drop here? Is it the 2 whiskey? It's definitely not anything that's worth money. It's definitely not this golden owl head or... yeah. It's probably the horn flutes. I was trying to save these for when the instrument collector quest potentially shows up, but you know what? I don't think that's... yeah, I don't think we get better value out of that than we do out of just keeping the other stuff in our inventory. Especially since we can't guarantee that instrument collector will show. Alright, so let's just run. All in all, I think not that bad of a third expedition. We got a pumpkin lantern, which is awesome. Yeah, you know what? I don't think this is that bad. We get first place, which means we'll get a good pick of crew members from London, if I'm understanding how that works right. Ooh, anthropology is a great way to get your score up. Maximum sanity is also very good. Eagle Eye is also very good. Unusually, I'm having trouble picking a perk here because all of our options are strong. But I think we are going to potentially need the score boost more than anything else. Alright, so how far behind are we? It's looking like maybe 400 points. Yeah, 330. Okay, so we definitely gift that. Keep these for trade. You know what? I think we're going to gift the raptor skin. It's worth more in funds, definitely, but we need some damn points. And then we sell all of these. So that's 160. We gotta just go to 180 funds, right? 200. We had two panther skins. Okay, on the whole, I don't think that third expedition was bad at all. I think we're gonna maybe make it through this somehow. So we have the option of going to the old prehistoric lands. We're still a little bit short on crew, and we have the opportunity here to pick up a Chasmosaurus. I think this is what we're doing. It does contain a buried golden pyramid, which can sometimes be a little bit of a strain on our sanity, but I think we gotta go for it, especially, you know, there's a fame bonus for trying a yellow text adventure anyway. So come back next time. A week start, followed by a week expedition after that I think we're going to be able to turn into a win. We'll see you then.